श्री महाभारत कथा। श्री महाभारत कथा। महाभारत कथा। कथा है पुरुषार्थ की, ये स्वार्थ की, परमार्थ की, सारथी जिसके बने श्री कृष्ण भारत पाथ की। शब्द दिग्घोषित हुआ जब सत्य सार्थक सर्वथा। शब्द दिग्घोषित हुआ। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत, अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य, तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्, परित्राणाय साधूनां, विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां, धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे।
After this recitation, the highly tragic parva called Stri is recited, where Dhritarashtra, the seer with a prophetic eye, grief-stricken at the loss of his children and harboring enmity towards Bhima, breaks a statue of hard iron deftly placed before him by Krishna. Then Vidura removes Dhritarashtra's attachment to worldly things by arguments pointing to his final release, and comforts the wise monarch. The subsequent events of the distressed Dhritarashtra, accompanied by his ladies, are described as they head towards the battlefield of the Kauravas. Here follow the sorrowful cries of the wives of the slain heroes. Then follows the anger and unconsciousness of Gandhari and Dhritarashtra at the sight of their dead heroes, their unreturning sons, brothers, and fathers. Krishna then pacifies the wrath of the heroes lying dead on the field. Consoled by Krishna, Gandhari, distressed at the death of her sons and grandsons, agrees to the cremation of their bodies with proper rites by Yudhishthira, the wise and virtuous monarch. Upon completion of the rites, the presentation of water for the manes of the deceased princes begins. The story of Kunti's acknowledgement of Karna as her secretly born son is revealed. All these events have been described by the great Rishi Vyasa in the highly tragic 11th Parva. Its reading stirs feelings of sorrow and even tears. The Parva consists of 27 sections and 775 slokas. The 12th Parva, Santi, increases understanding and relates the penitence of Yudhishthira for having slain his fathers, brothers, sons, maternal uncles, and matrimonial relations. In this Parva, Bhima, from his bed of arrows, expounds various systems of duties valuable for kings interested in knowledge. By understanding these teachings, a person attains extensive knowledge. The mysteries of final emancipation have also been explained. The next is the excellent Anusasana Parva, where Yudhishthira is reconciled to himself upon hearing Bhima's exposition of duties. This Parva covers rules in detail, as well as the duties related to Dharma and Artha, charity and its merits, the qualifications of the Dhanis, and the supreme ride regarding gifts. In this has been described the ascension of Bhima to heaven. This is the 13th Parva, which imparts accurate instructions on the various duties of men. The number of sections in this is 146, and the number of slokas is 8,000. Then comes the 14th Parva, Aswamdika. In this is the wonderful story of Samvarta and Maruta. Then the Pandavas discover golden treasuries, and the birth of Parikshit, who is revived by Krishna after being burned by Aswathaman's celestial weapon. The birth of Parikshit, who is revived by Krishna after being burned by Aswathaman's celestial weapon. The battles of Arjuna the son of Pandu, while following the sacrificial horse that had been set loose, are described along with various princes who seized it in anger. The great risk Arjuna faced in his encounter with Vavruvahana, the son of Chitrangada, is shown. The story of the mongoose during the horse sacrifice is also narrated. This is the most marvelous parva called Aswamdika, consisting of 103 sections and 3,320 slokas, composed by Vyasa, whose knowledge is true. The 15th Parva is named Asramvasika. In this, Dhritarashtra abdicates the kingdom, accompanied by Gandhari and Vidura, and retires to the woods. Seeing this, the virtuous Pritha also follows them, abandoning the court of her sons. In this is described the remarkable meeting between them, arranged through the kindness of Vyasa, where Dhritarashtra encounters the spirits of his slain children, grandchildren, and other princes who have returned from the other world. Afterward, Dhritarashtra, along with the spirits of his slain family members, attains the highest fruit of his meritorious actions. In this parva, Vidura, who has always adhered to virtue, achieves the most meritorious state. The learned son of Gavalgana, Sanjaya, also of passions under control, and the foremost of ministers, attains the blessed state. In this, Yudhishthira, the just meets Narada, and learns about the extinction of the race of the Parvas, as well as the destiny of the Vrishnis. This is the very wonderful parva called Asramvasika, consisting of 42 sections, and the number of slokas composed by Vyasa, who is cognizant of truth, is 1,506. After this, come the painful incidents in the Maushala Parva. The mighty heroes of the Vrishni race, scarred from countless battles, cursed by a Brahmana and deprived of reason due to drink, fight one another on the shores of the salt sea, using the araka grass which becomes their means of the destruction. In this, both Balarama and Krishna, after causing the extermination of their race, yield to the irresistible force of time. Arjuna, who is grieving upon seeing his people wiped out, proceeds to Dwaravati. There he finds the city without its Vrishni residents and becomes extremely sorrowful upon seeing the fallen heroes of the Yadu race. He then cremates the bodies of Krishna, Balarama, and the main figures of the Vrishni race. As he sets out on his journey, accompanied by the women, children, the old, and the infirm, the remnants of the Yadu race, they meet a severe calamity. Arjuna approaches Yudhishthira when he witnesses his bow Gandiva losing its power and his celestial weapons becoming unusable. Becoming despondent in the face of all this, acting on Vyasa's advice, Arjuna seeks permission from Yudhishthira to follow the sannyasa lifestyle. In this, the foremost among men, the Pandavas, having abandoned their kingdom, travel with Draupadi on their great journey called Mahaprasthana. They encounter Agni upon arriving at the shore of the red waters. Agni asks them questions, and Arjuna worships him and returns the excellent celestial bow called Gandiva to him. Leaving his brothers one by one, and Yudhishthira going without once looking back, The Pandavas proceed on their journey. This 17th Parva is called Mahaprastanika, consisting of 3 sections and 320 slokas, as told by Vyasa, who is cognizant of truth. The Parva that follows this, you must know, is the extraordinary one called the Svarga, that contains celestial incidents. Upon seeing the celestial chariot arrive to take him, Yudhishthira, moved by kindness towards the dog that accompanied him, refused to board. Observing the illustrious Yudhishthira's steadfast adherence to virtue, Dharma, the god of justice, abandoned his canine form and revealed himself to the gate. King got Then Yudhishthira, ascending to heaven, felt a great deal of pain. Dharma and Indra then showed Yudhishthira the region where his brothers were under the discipline of Yama. Next, the celestial messenger led Yudhishthira to hell through deception. The illustrious Yudhishthira, the embodiment of justice, heard the heart-rending lamentations of his brothers in that region. Before Yudhishthira, after leaving his human body, through a plunge in the celestial Ganges, attained to the region that his actions merited. He began to live in joy, respected by Indra and all other gods. This is the 18th Parva, as narrated by the illustrious Vyasa. The number of slokas composed by the great Rishi in this Parva is 209. In the appendix, Gita, are the Harivansa and the Vavashya. The Harivansa contains 12,000 slokas. 18 Akshauhinis of troops came together for battle. The encounter that ensued was terrible and lasted for 18 days. He who knows the 4 Vedas, all the Angas and Upanishads, but does not know this history, Bharata, cannot be considered wise. As the 3 worlds depend on the 5 elements, so do the Puranas depend on this history. There is not a story current in the world that does not depend on this history. A poet cannot surpass the Bharata, as the domestic Asrama cannot be surpassed by the other 3 Asramas. Ye ascetics, shake off all inaction. Let your hearts be fixed on virtue, for virtue is the one and only friend of him that has gone to the other world. A Brahmana, in spite of committing many sins through his senses each day, can be freed from them all by reading the Bharata during the evening. By reading the Bharata during the first twilight in the morning, those who give 100 kine with gold-mounted horns to a Brahmana well-versed in the Vedas and all branches of learning, and those who daily listen to the sacred narrations of the Bharata, acquire equal merit. Thus ends the section called Parva Sangraha of the Adi Parva of the blessed Mahabharata.